Welcome to Decorio Studio. Step into the world of eclectic shabby chic interior design, where vintage beauty meets soft pastels and rustic accents. In today's video, we're exploring 15 stunning concepts that blend timeless charm with cozy elegance, creating spaces that are both stylish and inviting. From dreamy pastel living rooms and bohemian bedrooms to charming garden sheds and serene sunrooms, these ideas will inspire you to mix and match textures, colors, and eras for a truly unique home. Whether you're a fan of vintage finds or rustic touches, this video is your ultimate guide to mastering the shabby chic aesthetic. Let's dive in. Idea number 1. Vintage pastel living room. Create a cozy living room that blends vintage charm with shabby chic elegance. Use soft pastel tones like blush pink, mint green, and pale blue for the walls and furniture. Incorporate vintage pieces such as a distressed wooden coffee table, an antique mirror, and a tufted pastel sofa. Add rustic accents like a jute rug and weathered picture frames. Layer the space with floral throw pillows, lace curtains, and a chandelier with a worn finish. This eclectic mix of vintage beauty, soft pastels, and rustic touches creates a warm and inviting atmosphere perfect for relaxation. Idea number 2. Rustic pastel kitchen. Design a shabby chic kitchen that combines rustic elements with pastel hues. Use pale pink or mint green cabinetry with distressed finishes, paired with a farmhouse sink and open wooden shelves. Add vintage-inspired appliances and a weathered wooden dining table with mismatched pastel chairs. Decorate with rustic accents like a wrought iron chandelier, ceramic jars, and fresh flowers in mason jars. The mix of soft colors, vintage charm, and rustic textures creates a charming and functional kitchen space. Idea number 3. Bohemian shabby chic bedroom. Transform your bedroom into a bohemian shabby chic retreat. Use a pastel color palette with soft lavender or blush pink walls and a vintage wrought iron bed frame. Layer the bed with floral linens, lace-edged pillows, and a crochet throw. Add rustic accents like a reclaimed wood nightstand and a distressed dresser. Incorporate boho elements such as macrame wall hangings, woven baskets, and a vintage rug. This eclectic mix of styles creates a dreamy and relaxing bedroom space. Idea number 4. Vintage pastel dining room. Create a charming dining room with a mix of vintage and shabby chic elements. Use a pastel-colored dining table with mismatched chairs, each painted in soft hues like mint, lavender, and blush. Add a vintage chandelier with a distressed finish and a rustic wooden sideboard. Decorate the table with floral centerpieces, lace table runners, and antique china. The combination of soft pastels, vintage furniture, and rustic accents creates a warm and inviting dining space. Idea number 5. Shabby Chic Bathroom Oasis. Design a serene shabby chic bathroom with soft pastel tiles and vintage fixtures. Use a clawfoot tub with a pastel exterior, paired with a distressed wooden vanity and a vintage mirror. Add rustic accents like a ladder shelf with woven baskets and a jute rug. Decorate with fresh flowers, lace towels, and pastel-colored soap dispensers. The blend of vintage beauty, soft pastels, and rustic textures creates a calming and elegant bathroom retreat. Idea number 6. Pastel Vintage Home Office. Create a shabby chic home office with a mix of vintage and rustic elements. Use a pastel-colored desk with a distressed finish, paired with a vintage chair and a rustic bookshelf. Add soft pastel accents like a floral desk lamp, lace curtains, and pastel stationery. Incorporate rustic touches like a wooden ladder shelf and a jute rug. This eclectic mix of styles creates a cozy and inspiring workspace. Idea number 7. Shabby Chic Entryway. Design a welcoming shabby chic entryway with vintage charm and soft pastels. Use a distressed wooden console table with a pastel vase and fresh flowers. Add a vintage mirror with a worn frame and a rustic bench with floral cushions. Incorporate soft pastel accents like a pastel rug and lace doilies. The combination of vintage beauty, soft colors, and rustic textures creates a warm and inviting entryway. Idea number 8. Pastel Vintage Reading Nook. Create a cozy reading nook with shabby chic elements. Use a pastel-colored armchair with a floral throw and lace pillows. Add a vintage side table with a distressed finish and a rustic bookshelf. Incorporate soft pastel accents like a pastel rug and lace curtains. The blend of vintage charm, soft pastels, and rustic textures creates a peaceful and inviting space for reading. Idea number 9. Shabby Chic Nursery. Design a dreamy shabby chic nursery with soft pastels and vintage charm. Use a pastel-colored crib with a floral canopy and lace bedding. Add a vintage rocking chair with a distressed finish and a rustic changing table. Incorporate soft pastel accents like a pastel rug and lace curtains. The combination of vintage beauty, soft pastels, and rustic textures creates a serene and enchanting nursery. Idea number 10. Vintage pastel patio. Create a shabby chic outdoor patio with vintage charm and soft pastels. Use pastel-colored outdoor furniture with floral cushions and lace throws. Add a vintage-inspired bistro set and a rustic wooden coffee table. Incorporate soft pastel accents like pastel planters and lace tablecloths. The blend of vintage beauty, soft pastels, and rustic textures creates a charming and relaxing outdoor space. Idea number 11. Shabby chic laundry room. Design a functional and stylish shabby chic laundry room. Use pastel-colored cabinets with distressed finishes and a vintage-inspired washing machine. Add a rustic wooden countertop and a vintage laundry basket. Incorporate soft pastel accents like pastel jars and lace curtains. The combination of vintage charm, soft pastels, and rustic textures creates a charming and practical laundry space. Idea number 12. Pastel vintage walk-in closet. Create a dreamy shabby chic walk-in closet with soft pastels and vintage charm. Use pastel-colored shelving with distressed finishes and a vintage vanity table. Add a rustic wooden bench and a vintage mirror. Incorporate soft pastel accents like pastel hangers and lace storage bins. The blend of vintage beauty, soft pastels, and rustic textures creates a stylish and functional closet space. Idea number 13. Shabby chic sunroom. Design a bright and airy shabby chic sunroom with soft pastels and vintage charm. Use pastel-colored wicker furniture with floral cushions and lace throws. Add a vintage coffee table with a distressed finish and a rustic bookshelf. Incorporate soft pastel accents like pastel planters and lace curtains. The combination of vintage beauty, soft pastels, and rustic textures creates a relaxing and inviting sunroom. Idea number 14. Pastel vintage staircase. Create a charming shabby chic staircase with soft pastels and vintage charm. Use pastel-colored risers with distressed finishes and a vintage runner. Add a rustic wooden handrail and vintage wall art. Incorporate soft pastel accents like pastel vases and lace doilies. The blend of vintage beauty, soft pastels, and rustic textures creates a warm and inviting staircase. Idea number 15. Shabby Chic Garden Shed. Design a charming shabby chic garden shed with soft pastels and vintage charm. Use pastel-colored walls with distressed finishes and a vintage potting bench. Add a rustic wooden table and a vintage chair. Incorporate soft pastel accents like pastel planters and lace curtains. The combination of vintage beauty, soft pastels, and rustic textures creates a cozy and functional garden shed. That's all the 15 eclectic shabby chic interior design ideas. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe to Decorio Studio for more design ideas and home inspiration.